Good morning, happy Friday. Welcome to my weekly vlog. I'm getting back on this grind. I actually really like the weekly vlog, and I like to watch my own back as I think about what I was reading this week and like what's been going on. And so I was gonna wait till like Sunday, but I was like, I don't need a set date. Like I can just start it when I want to start it. So I'm starting it now. So it has been a very busy week at my job. This week we led some professional development, and so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we were just booked and busy, and that's not the normal pace of our job, and so it just feels exhausting afterwards. So today I'm happy to catch up on some of the like admin side of my job and just to breathe a little bit because I actually don't love presenting, and so it has been interesting to learn that about myself. But anyway, so I am excited to start this vlog. So what have I been reading so far? Let me just look that up for you. All right, so far I have read 5 books this month, and they've been mid. Nothing very exciting. I started out with Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. For reference, today's the 10th of February, and so I started with Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. I didn't love it. I actually don't care for her writing style like at all, and I've read all of her books, like the Dani Brown like sister trilogy, whatever. I read all of those, didn't like them. I read this one, didn't like it, so now I think I'm done. It's clear that's not my style. Then I read a Sweet Valley High book, The Dating Game. Good, but it was mid. This story followed one guy, 2 girls like him. He decides to put them through the paces and make them date him to prove who is the better choice to go to the big dance with. The girls find out this is his plot, and well, before he makes that decision, he's gonna make them have a contest. They find out that he has basically done the same spiel with both of them, and they decide to sort of buddy up and make him believe that they are interested and then dump him publicly. But one girl starts falling for him. Anyway, that one was mid. Then I read X's and O's by Amy Lee, and I loved it. 5 stars. So that's my second Amy Lee book that I've read. That's been really, really good. I really like her writing, and I know there's one more book coming out in that sort of trilogy. Then I read Christy and the Copycat. It was okay. And then I read, well, that was unexpected, and that's by, what's her name? Jessie Q. Sutanto. It was okay. I read she does the, what are the other books that she does? If I remember, I'll put it down here when I edit, but I didn't like those books either. They're kind of just okay, but like some of these newer books came out, and it's like, I got to jump into them. So I am going to the bookstore today for a haul that I don't need, but last time I went to the bookstore, I got 2 books. I want to show you what I got. Okay, so last time I went to the bookstore, I was going to pick up another graphic novel for my youngest, who had just finished one in the series, and I was like, let me just look around. So the first thing I picked up was this, Icebreaker, which I've been looking for like since before the new year, but it's been sold out at my bookstore, and I just never got it on Amazon. But I am on page 68, and it's all right. I'm gonna get through it. I think it's gonna get better. I have high hopes for this, but I'm definitely too old for this book. And I started last year reading those Elle Kennedy hockey romance books, and they were good. They were good. I think I've moved past those, but I'm going to read it. I don't know like anything about the author, if this started out on Wattpad or what. It's written as if it was started on Wattpad, like it hasn't been edited. And so for somebody like me, that can be really distracting. And so I'm just trying to push through, but I like the story in general. I see where it's going. I like it. The next book I picked up was Things We Never Got Over. As you guys know, last month I read By a Thread and loved it, and I became a fan of the over 500-page romance books, and so I'm excited to get back into this world, and I will do that after Icebreaker. And I might do one of my fantasy picks in between, because this would have been like the 7th romance this month, and that's a lot for me, so we'll see. But then on my Kindle, which I haven't been using too much, but I have quite a few things downloaded, but the most recent thing that I actually downloaded was The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. I have the library copy, hard copy, and then I also have the Libby copy. So we'll see, but I'm excited to get started on this reading vlog this week and take you on my weekend. And like I said, I'm going to the bookstore today. Nobody can stop me. I'm doing it all by myself so I can browse. Hopefully I get some clips, and then I'll show you what I get. Good morning and happy Monday. Okay, it's very clear why I don't start vlogs on Friday, because I did not vlog anything this weekend. It was just a busy weekend, and I'm not really upstairs to film and whatever. So on Friday I did go to Barnes & Noble, and I went, I wasn't really in the mood, if you can believe it, but I ended up picking that new Tessa Bailey, is it Truthfully Yours, Gratefully Yours, Truly Yours, Secretly Yours. I picked up Secretly Yours, and I didn't walk around. And as soon as I walked out the store, I noticed there was some ink blots on it. And I was like, I don't want this. So the next day on Saturday, I returned it. And I actually ended up putting Secretly Yours on my Kobo. And I got the Kobo at Christmas because people have been talking about it in the booktube community. No, I don't live in Canada. But I use it mostly for Overdrive and NetGalley books, because the NetGalley books oftentimes don't have a cover to them. They just kind of look unfinished, and I didn't want that on my Kindle. So this is the first book that I've bought on my Kobo. On Friday night, I did finish Icebreaker. I gave it 4 stars. It was solid. I thought it was pretty steamy, but almost too much. Once they started, they just never stopped. The characters were okay. Aaron was horrible. Anastasia was bratty. So I'm saying negatives, but it flowed really nicely. The writing was good. I gave it a solid 4. After I read that book, I don't want to say it was a slump. I kind of just stopped reading stuff. So I tried to go back to here it is over here, The Heir of Fire, Throne of Glass 4. And I got maybe about 70 more pages into it, and I'm still not loving it. And I hate to DNF the series, but not loving it. So I put it down. Then I picked up The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle. That's on my Kindle, and I couldn't catch the vibe of that. So then I just went to an old standby, and I was reading Maryanne Mystery. I think it's Maryanne and the Haunted Library or something, or the Haunted Bookstore. And I'm reading that on my Kobo. And that kind of helped yesterday. And then I am finishing, once I finish that, I'm about, how long? I don't know, maybe about 80% through with that. I'm going to go on to Secretly Yours, and then see what happens. I also tried The Kissing Game from the library, and that was no good. 2 pages in, I was like, nope, done. So my plan today is to finish the Babysitters Club book and start Secretly Yours. And yeah. Happy Monday. All right, guys, it's a little bit later today on Monday, and I forgot in my earlier clip that I just started listening to The Stand-In. The author's name is Lily Chu, and I heard about this book on the Bookish Knitter, but she had borrowed it. I had it on my list to borrow actually from the library, but it was taking forever. So then it finally came in, but it's also on Audible. And so since I was kind of stunted in reading this weekend, I was like, maybe I just need to listen to an audiobook and get back into it. And it's actually really good. So it's about this lady Gracie, and she's being fully sexually harassed by her boss. She doesn't go through with it, so he fires her. And she's kind of skittish, so she hasn't made any appropriate claims or has any proof or anything, which that's a whole nother story, because do we need proof? But okay. So she has a run-in with this Chinese actress who wants her to play her, the actress, in public for a little bit because Gracie looks just like the actress. And so we're going through this sort of learning how to be like the actress, and all along Gracie's building up confidence. There's a love interest, Sam, who is a confidant to the Chinese actress and is helping Gracie become this actress. So it's really cute. I'm listening to it as I just go about my day today. I think I'll be done with it by either today or Wednesday, tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm taking a little break from it now, but I usually listen to audiobooks at 2 times speed. So I have about 4-ish hours left, and it's a 10-hour book. And so I started it yesterday, and I'm really liking it. So I definitely recommend it. Good morning and happy Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. Good morning and happy Tuesday. So excited for another great day. Let's see. Yesterday, I did finish Maryanne and the Haunted Bookstore. I really did not like that book. I barely made it through. In my rating system, I only give 3 stars to like my reread. That's the lowest I'll go for Babysitters and Sweet Valley. But I really wanted to give this one 2 stars. It just wasn't it. I didn't like it. And the characters were not likable. It was really about like Edgar Allan Poe and this mystery bookstore and the connection between somebody local and Edgar Allan Poe, and it was just not good. So I do not recommend it. It's on my Goodreads though. I'll put that in the description. Today's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. Excited to celebrate. It's kind of like a big deal in our house all of a sudden. But yeah, excited for Valentine's Day. Today, I am still listening to The Stand-In on audio. It's really good. And from some of the reviews I heard, it sounded like it might be a little sad, but I haven't gotten to any sad parts yet. And so it's getting good. It's getting good. And then I am still starting Secretly Yours on my Kobo. I'm about 20 pages in and it's not catching me yet, but I also realize I haven't given it like enough time. So, like, I don't feel like I'm in a mid-month slump, but it's kind of like, every book I'm trudging through like mud. And so I really want to get a book that's just like, it grabs me from the beginning. So I might have to go to, where is it? This Lucy Score book, because this might be it. Or maybe one of my Harlequin. I don't know. I need to find something that's going to be like a quick read that's good. It's like giving me like the energy to keep going. So that's where I am on Tuesday. I'll check back in later. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Okay, I just got done filming a video about the Kobo and Kindle. I've been wanting to do that for a while and had some time to sort of compare the two of them. I think that'll be a really great video for people who love that kind of video. It's not a tech video at all. It's just like my observations, my take on it. So I love that. Let's see, what did I finish? Yesterday, I finished Dawn and Whitney, Friends Forever. I was reading that with my youngest, so it took us a little while, but finished that. Pretty good story. I don't love Dawn. If you're rereading the Babysitters Club books, or you use them as palette cleansers as I do, like, what's your vibe? I don't like her as a character, period. So that was a struggle to get through, but Reagan really liked it. Okay, yesterday I also had a chance to get into Things We Never Got Over. So as I mentioned, I was feeling a little slumpy because nothing is like hitting, right? Like nothing is having me speed through, like hungrily wanting to finish a book. So I reset, like did a level reset yesterday. I downloaded a Good Stacy book for Babysitters Club as my book on the go. And then I picked up Things We Never Got Over, which is really good. And then I immediately felt guilty because I have to finish Air Fire. I saw somebody say on TikTok how good the Throne of Glass series is, and it is good. It's just a lot. But I'm going to push myself to finish that first and then go to Things We Never Got Over. So I'm just about halfway done with Air Fire. I can do this within a week. I can do this. I'm going to challenge myself, so keep me accountable. I was watching a video with Sarah J. Maas about the series and like specifically this book and like sort of what it all intertwines. And I was very like, okay, I have to dig back in. So that is my goal. Today's Wednesday, which means we spend about an hour and a half, 2 hours at the library for some things for Reagan, my youngest, and I will be knocking out a good chunk of reading at that time. All right, guys, I'll check in later. Bye. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, my favorite day of the week. Don't ask me why, I have reasons, but I just wanted to hop on and kind of update you. So I just finished The Stand-In. I was listening to that on Audible, and honestly, I think that's the only way to do it. So it did take a little bit longer than I had anticipated, because I thought I might finish it yesterday, but I actually had quite a lot going on yesterday, so I needed to focus and couldn't listen to that in the background. But I'm going to rate it 4 stars. I figured that out maybe when I had an hour left in the book. So basically this story follows Gracie. Gracie is being sexually harassed at her job in the corporate world, and basically is forced to, or she gets fired because she doesn't want to go through with it. And she meets up with a Chinese film star who looks like her, and her co-star Sam propositioned Gracie to basically play as the Chinese film star because they look so much alike. That'll give the film star a break. We find out later that the film star deals with panic attacks and anxiety, and so being in the spotlight all the time is starting to wear on her. As we go through the story, you could imagine Sam and Gracie start kind of falling for each other as they pretend to be these in-love co-stars, because the media has portrayed the two Chinese film actors as like being a couple or wanting to be a couple or something like that. So that kind of evolves, and then somebody finds out that Gracie is playing as the Chinese film star, and so it all kind of spirals from there. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was longer than it needed to be, and there were a couple of parts that I didn't think were necessary. The twist at the end was unexpected, but didn't really go anywhere. So it's like, what are we doing next with that information? And then the Gracie and Sam thing, I don't see them having much chemistry, honestly. So I wasn't necessarily rooting for them, but Gracie was also very sensitive and like very set on that Sam liked his co-star, which he had said explicitly several times he did not. But every time he came to like see what's going on, it was about the co-star and how like things are getting anyway. I suggest reading it. It was good. It was 4 stars, but there were some parts in there that was just like, not necessary. So that's why it's not 5 stars. So that's that. Yesterday, let me grab this. Yesterday, I continued with Heir of Fire. I brought it to the library with us. I showed a little clip of the library. So basically every Wednesday, we're at the library for about 2 hours. And so I got only about 25 pages read. I was off and on, but I'm back in it. And so I'll be reading more of this today. My hope is to finish this by this weekend. And then when I get tired of this, I'm also reading my Babysitters Club book. I'm about 40% done with that. And that is Stacy's Big Mistake. Hold on. Okay, I don't know what I was talking about. It's Stacy Super Sitter. And so that's kind of my plan. I really wanted to devote my energy on this one. Tonight is reading sprints. I usually hop on with Bookish Knitter, and I think it's Storm Reads and Beach Bum Bookworm. Sometimes Lee at, I think it's Dark Creations. Anyway, those people are amazing to me on Thursday. I don't know what it is about just like watching people read and like having the conversation. It's like the highlight of my Thursday. And so I will be reading during that sprint. When I'm done with Heir of Fire, I am going to order the next book so I can keep the momentum going. And then I'm going to go into Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. So that is the plan. All right, guys, happy Thursday. I'll check in later. Hey, guys, welcome to Friday and the end of this vlog. Friday through Friday format was interesting. I'll probably go back to like a Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday vlog. Because it seemed like this was going on forever, but it was a good week, a great way to get back into the vlog. Over the course of this week, I put out another video on my channel, the Kindle versus Kobo video, and I talked about that a little bit, and it's getting good traction, so I'm excited to have people starting to look at the channel a little bit more. So as you're watching this, feel free to share my channel, like it, comment, subscribe, all the things. So let me tell you what I read this week and what I kind of read yesterday. So yesterday, I did get a good chunk of this read. So I was like on page 270 or so, and now I'm on page 390. It's dry, guys. It's dry. I did order the next book though because I'm a glutton for torture, and it seems like the next book has great reviews as being the best book in the series. The problem I'm having with this book in particular is that there are 3 points of view happening, and I feel like in the ACOTAR series, when a new point of view happened, it was labeled and titled, and like I was in it, right? And in this one, it kind of jumps in and out, and you really have to like remember the storylines. It's really 3 totally different stories happening in 3 different locations, and each main character, Selena, Cowell, and Adian, the new king, whatever, they all have their series of people that they're interacting with. So you have like 3 people over here and 4 people over here and 2 people over here, and it's like all new people. And so that's what's throwing me off. So what I'm trying to do is like read through the story, if that makes sense, of like understanding sort of the main points of the plot and the arc of what's happening to each character without getting lost in the individuals within the story and the names and stuff, because they're all different. But anyway, so yeah, I'm on 380, looking to finish this up like today because I'm ready to move on. Because then I told you guys the next book I was going to read was Things We Never Got Over. I started this on Tuesday, was it? Wednesday? Because I was just like so fed up with this book. And I wasn't finding anything on my Kindle. And I got like a quick 25 pages in and was like, this is going to be an easy read again. And I need to finish up my air fryer. So this is coming up next. But let's talk about what I read this week. So this week I started off with, okay, so I've read 4 books this week. And hopefully if I finish this one today, it'll be 5, which is amazing. That's like almost a book a day. And when I am in the moment, I don't think about it like that. I just read whatever comes up next. So I finished Icebreaker. I think I put it down below, but I'll put a picture if I can remember. I finished up Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and I gave that 4 stars. Again, I really liked it. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my star system. So I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. It's a hockey romance, and it's full of spice. The problem for me was like once the spice started, like that's the only thing that was happening in the story, and I don't like that. So anyways, I didn't really like the fact that it just didn't stop. Overall, the characters were decent enough because I didn't like one. So it's like if you have built out a character enough for me not to like them, it's clear that it's well written, right? And so you could definitely see this is going to be a part of one of those companion type series where each couple gets a story. And so I probably will fall down that rabbit hole, not gonna lie. But it's definitely like a college age, early 20s book. Next up, I read Maryanne and the Haunted Bookstore out of pure desperation. As I stated before, for all of my like Sweet Valley High books, Babysitter's Club books, I stick them at a 3 minimum because I'm rereading them, so there's got to be something there. But this was really like a 2-star for me. It just was not good. It was really focused on Edgar Allan Poe, and just like it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I also acknowledged that I was in the middle of a pre-slump, and so it probably wasn't good because I wasn't feeling like reading. Then we were reading, I was reading to my youngest, Dawn and Whitney, Friends Forever. And when we read before bed, like she's definitely a reader like me, and well, both my girls are readers. And so she will often read like her own book, and then I read a book to her. Anyway, so it was just a chapter a night, so it took a little bit longer, but I ended up rating that 3 stars. It was pretty good. There were some parts in it that were like funny or a little bit alarming, and there was some awareness around Down syndrome and how people can be treated and viewed when they have Down syndrome. But ultimately, I do not like Dawn as a character. I don't like anything about her backstory. I don't care about her family. Like, I just don't like Dawn. So 3 stars. And then yesterday, I finished up an Audible that I had started on Sunday, which was The Stand-In by Lily Chu. I gave this 4 stars. And I really enjoyed this book. I don't think I would have read it cover to cover, but the Audible version of it was really good for me. The story was cute, characters were likable. I definitely recommend it. There is talk about the mom, the mother having dementia, and that can be triggering, but it didn't get into a sad space necessarily. It was just like something else that Gracie was having to manage, along with losing her job, along with pretending to be somebody else, and I have to take care of my mother. Like, so that was an interesting perspective. But honestly, pretty good book. I would definitely read something else from this author. It's pretty popular right now. I suggest the Audible. I have an Audible membership, so if you have that Audible Plus membership, it's actually free, so you don't even have to use a credit to listen to it. So I really appreciated that. And then, like I said, I'm going to finish this up today. I am bound and determined to finish this today because I'm tired of lugging this around, and I'm ready to get out of this book and on to the next one. But I know I'm going to rate this around the 3 mark. I think for me, when I'm reading books, I kind of know, like I said, in the sort of toward the middle to end what I want to rate it. And then as I'm listening, I'm starting to think about things I want to point out, because I do put my reviews on Goodreads, and I'll link that below. There are some books that just get a real simple review, some go more in depth, but for this one I'm going to give it probably 3 stars, because it really deserves 2.5 stars, but because I'm going on with the series, I will give it 3. But it's just really losing me in the new characters. There's just too many new characters. And so I'm having to like look at the fandom wiki for this series to like understand who is who, where, and all the things. So that's helping a little bit, but I am very hopeful. So the next book is Queen of Shadows, and I've heard that's the best one of the series. And so I'm halfway through the series. Like, I literally have to keep going. I have to. So if you count the Assassin's Blade, which is like the prequel, this is book 4. If you don't count the Assassin's Blade, this is book 3, and Queen of Shadows is book 4, or book 5 if you did the prequel. So I'm on book 5, would be Queen of Shadows for me. So anyway, that is my reading vlog for the week. I hope you enjoyed spending the week with me and reading, and I'm gonna pick up the camera again to start another reading vlog and see what we read for next week. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, as I'm a new and upcoming booktuber in this very saturated market, and I appreciate all your support. Thanks guys, and we'll see you in the next one.